to tell me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Ma'am, right this way. Watch your step and make sure the chair doesn't roll off of there, okay? I got you. All right.
Miss, if you would state your full name and then spell your last name for us.
My name is Patricia Rath, and it's Raths.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, Mrs. Rath. Are you a member of the Swan Boat Club?
No,
Have you ever been to the Swan Boat Club?
only on that day.
Okay, when you're referring to that day, are you referring to April 20th, 2024?
Yes,
Why were you at the Swan Boat Club that day?
it was my great-nephew's 3rd birthday party.
And who's your great-nephew?
Stetson Moldkowski.
And then how is he related to you?
His mother, Tweety, is my niece,
Okay. And what is Tweety's real name?
Kristen Sigler.
All right, thank you. Can you describe the Stetson's birthday party for us?
Oh, when we got there and we walked in, it was just magical. It was beautiful. It was like a 3-ring circus. It was all set up. There were tables when we first walked through the door, and then at the other end of the building, she had a bubble lady and hula hoops, and against the back wall they had games where the kids could play the games and win prizes. She had a face painter over in the corner, and then they had a bunch of things where the kids could take pictures, you know, like stick their head through the thing and get pictures. And I got there kind of early, and as the kids came in, they were just having a blast, running around. And then outside there was a big bounce house for the kids too. And it was a good day. It was the kids were having a great time.
You mentioned you got there early. Do you recall what time you got there?
No.
Okay. Do you know how many people were there approximately, if you can recall?
I don't recall, but the room was full.
Okay.
The
And
tables were full.
were some of those attendees children?
Yes,
Okay. A good number of them?
many children.
At some point, did the party come to a stop?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me what you remember about that?
I heard an explosion, like a big boom, and I thought we'd been bombed. It was a loud noise. I didn't know what had happened. Apparently, I got hit in the head with something. I still have a dent in the top of my head. I was passed out. When I came to, I could hear my son saying, "Mom, Mom, are you okay?" He sounded like he was like a million miles away.
At some point, did you come to know what happened?
He got me up and put me in a chair, and it was all chaos. I mean, there was stuff everywhere, still floating, I guess, in the air. It was, people were screaming, my kids, I'm hurt. It was just total chaos.
Ms. Rath, prior to April 20th of 2024, did you know Marshella Chidester?
No.
At some point during that incident, you mentioned you were put into a chair. Did you come into contact with Marshella Chidester?
Yes, they had set her down in a chair, like right by us, because when I was in the chair, my sister-in-law was on the floor right next to me, and she was in the chair on the other side of her. Before this even happened, my sister-in-law was standing at a table to my right. When I woke up on the floor, she was laying on the left side of me, on her back, and I was on my face. And when I came to, I thought I was blind. Everything was black. I couldn't see anything. And then I could gradually see some light, and then I could see some movement, figures, and then my vision did come back, and I could tell it was people, and I could see everything. It was very scary.
And you indicated, I believe it was your sister-in-law. Who is that?
Denise Roberts.
Okay. And you kind of mentioned it, but prior to, well, at some point did you realize whether or not a bomb had gone off?
Eventually I saw the car in the building.
Okay. And a car came through the wall, right?
Yes.
Okay. And at some point prior to the car coming through that wall, can you just clarify, where were you sitting in relation to where the car entered the building?
I was sitting at a table. I think there was another set of tables, like the two sets of tables, you know, 2 rows. I think there was another set of tables in front of us, and the car came through the wall right behind me. If she would have came 2 feet to the right, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
And not to jump back and forth, Ms. Rath, but to take you back to a moment ago when you stated that the defendant was seated, it sounds like in a chair next to you, is that right? Okay, and did you have any interaction with her when she was sitting next to you?
I didn't talk to her at all, but I can still hear it in my head, and she kept saying, "I passed out! I passed out!" And then she would look at my sister-in-law and she'd say, "Are you hurt?" And then she would go back to that scream, "I passed out!"
Did you have any direct interaction with her?
No, I never spoke to her.
Did you incur any injuries as a result of this incident?
In the beginning, I had bad headaches, nausea, ringing in my ears, blurry vision. When they took me to the hospital, I had a concussion. I've got a TBI. I now have PTSD, severe anxiety, panic attacks, but the biggest problem I have is my memory loss.
When you say TBI, what do you mean by that?
Traumatic brain injury.
That's all I have for you, Ms. Rath. Thank you very much.
Cross-examine.
Thank you. Ma'am, did you ever meet my client prior to that day?
I can't hear you.
Did you ever meet my client prior to that day?
No, I didn't.
Okay. You don't know what her medical condition, neurological condition prior to that day, to be
I have
fair.
no idea.
All right, thank you. And how are you related to Tony?
Tony is my son that was at the party with me, and we had my grandson with us too, who's 7.
Okay. And do you know if Tony knows me at all?
Yes.
How does he know me?
I don't know. He just told me he knows you. I don't know.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Anything further?
Nothing, Judge.